Let's see if I can get this to work in landscape mode. I'm trying. Yay! It's working. Now, just so you know that the writers knew about the satire in Matthew that I just showed you, we're going to look at the parallel passage here in Luke, which starts at verse 5. Okay, you use the same technique. You're starting at 30 AD, and you count the syllables. Okay, remember, at the 11th syllable, this is so funny, I don't know if I can make it through this video. Remember, in Matthew, at the 11th syllable, that was 41 AD, and it was the beginning of the word iyeru, right? That was Matthew. But now we're in Luke, parallel passage to Matthew 24. And I was telling you before that what they do is the later writers took Matthew's text and they repackage it, knowing that you memorized it. It's real critical that you memorized it, or their words will not have the bite that they want you to get. Remember, this is God's word. So God's writers are clever. They're not stupid. Okay? So this is clever writing. Okay? So now look, it starts just like Matthew did with Kai. All right? Only it's repackaged. It's Kai Tinon and certain ones. Okay, I'm not going to show you the English of this because it's too funny. Okay, Kai and Tinon, certain ones, plural, legonton, were saying. Okay? Peri to Iyeru, about the temple. And Iyeru, right here, Iyeru, I-E, go away. The I-E in red is occurring, get this, at the 10th syllable, not the 11th. Is the Bible contradicting itself? Oh no, baby. This is bite. Here's how you know. Caligula died January 24, 41 AD. You can even look it up in Wikipedia, because in those days they recorded the dates of their emperors' deaths. Now, the early days of Rome were really bad calendars. But in 44 BC, Julius Caesar changed the calendar. All right? In 30 AD, when Matthew wrote, the calendar in use were actually two of them. One by Livius and another one by a guy named Varro, who became popular when Mary got pregnant with Jesus in 5 BC. By the time Luke writes, and he tells you this, okay? Luke writes, see the 17? He's writing, get this, 17 years after Christ should have died. Should have. He was supposed to die at age 40, like David retired at age 40. That's a whole backstory that, I spent 100 videos on that. If you don't know them already, you got a lot of videos to watch, because it's all in the Old Testament. Christ's death was scheduled, but the Jews rejected him, so he dies 7 years early, and that's why we as church exist. That's why there's a rapture. So Luke here is calling your attention to why he's writing. Because Christ died early. By using 17 as the end of the clause, he's saying, hi, I'm writing you 17 years after Christ should have died if Israel had accepted him. But they didn't. So he died at 33. And Luke is a Gentile writing his gospel with the theme about how church comes to exist through Christ. He's telling you that in the meter, immediately and loudly, in the very first clause of the parallel to Matthew. He does the same thing in Luke 1, but I don't have time to go over that. Okay? So, by using 17 instead of 16 like Matthew had used, he's going one syllable extra to end his clause. Why is he doing that? Because he's writing 17 years after Christ should have died. Christ was scheduled to die on Passover. He did die on Passover. Passover was a prophecy about his dying. Okay? The Sanhedrin was trying to get him killed before or after, but not on Passover, so that they could say he was not the Messiah. They failed to do that. Okay? It's a royally big deal that this meter is 17, not 16. Because Christ was supposed to die in April when he was 40. That means April 37 AD was when he was supposed to die, and there would have been no church. But he dies at age 33 on Passover in April 3rd to be exact, because the Bible tells you exactly what day it is, Passover. And Passover is April 3rd every year. Okay? Except the vernal equinox might vary by 12 hours. All right? The Jews got the accounting of Passover wrong. The Catholics completely messed it up. The Bible has it right. I did videos on that. The point is that Luke knows, and he's reminding the reader, hi, Christ died on Passover and was supposed to die 7 years later on Passover, but did not. Now, April is after January, okay? So the 11th syllable here is reckoning by April. It was the 11th year after Christ died, but not the 11th anniversary. You get the precision? So technically, in order to hit the same syllable Matthew did, i.e. in red, to reference Caligula's death, Luke has to add a syllable to his first clause, and he has to back up the word iyeru by one syllable. So it's 10 years after Christ died, technically, because Caligula dies in January, not April. You got that? Hopefully I'm recording.